an XRP White House. This is our reality, folks. Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Alderati, Team Ripple, meeting once again with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Really excited to bring this update to you guys here today. We are celebrating. We just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Massive accomplishment. I just want to say thank you to this community. You guys have been amazing with me here for about 4 years, really about 3 years hardcore on YouTube. The first year that I was making content, it was primarily here on TikTok. And then about a year in is when I started to really push on YouTube. And it's been quite a journey this last year, so, some bumpy times. And we were able to build it back up, keep our momentum. And really, since this election, it's just exploded. And so I couldn't do it without your support. Just wanted to give you guys a shout out. Just wanted to say thank you. And let's get right on into this update because it's a fantastic update that we have lined up for you tonight. I do have an adult beverage right next to me. I thought that it was worthy of celebrating this moment. I got myself some proper 12, although maybe I should be drinking some French wine because we're going to talk about the beef bourguignon. I probably butchered that one. I'm going to try to pronounce that one again here. Stuart Alderati saying that the beef bourguignon was very good with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and that is a French dish for those of you guys who don't know. So maybe I should have had some French wine here with me tonight. But nonetheless, let's celebrate. Let's lock in. We got a lot to cover. Let's get right on into it. So here's what we're looking at right now, folks. Great dinner last night with President Trump and Stuart Alderati. Strong start to 2025. You see it here. Brad Garlinghouse with Donald Trump and Stu in the White House, in Mar-a-Lago, having themselves a little meeting. And this is after Stu said that Trump had already met with Ripple earlier this summer and, quote, listened to our story. And so I didn't bring the red folder out with me, but, we can assume, I think it's safe to say that Trump does have the red folder. We know Trump already had a red folder. Now he's got the XRP red folder. And my first reaction was this. I put out this tweet. You are telling me that the SEC is going to follow through with the appeal against Ripple when they see this taking place. With these gentlemen meeting, the SEC is going to come here in about a week on the 15th of January, and they're going to file the briefs that are due for their appeal. Now, if they don't file these briefs, then the appeal is dropped. This case is over. But you're telling me that the SEC and Gary Gensler on his way out, is he going to pull a Jay Clayton here? And this is my prediction, is that he's going to try to claim a victory. He's going to settle this one up, even though we actually shared this in the update earlier today. Jeremy Hogan, thinks that it'll be completely normal to see this case, the briefs get filed, but he does believe that the settlement will happen. But he just basically is of the opinion that the briefs will get filed here on January 15th. But nonetheless, it's just speculation at this point. And I just find it very, very hard to believe that they're going to go through with this, actually file the briefs and actually try to go through with the appeal process when basically all their power is about to be taken from them. And this is power that they never had. We should be very clear about that. This is them trying to overextend their jurisdiction. And we're going to talk about the ruling in the Coinbase case. Coinbase getting a victory in their interlocutory appeal. And so Coinbase going to be putting up their fight and continuing their fight. Ripple, it seems that this case is over. I mean, to me, I've been saying that this case is over. When we see this picture here today, I mean, what else do you need to see? Do you really think that this case is going to go on any further? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What's going to happen here? Is the SEC going to file the briefs for this appeal? Are they going to let it expire, settle up this case? Good guy Gary Gensler gets to brag about collecting $125 million from Ripple. And at the same time, this is his, parting, victory lap that he gets to take, claiming this one before he resigns on January 19th. Now, today it was also announced that CFTC Chairman Benham, he's also going to be stepping down as well. So a complete change of the guard at the SEC, at the CFTC, and hopefully with Congress bringing in some legislation. I think that the Ripple standard is getting explained to President Trump right now. And I wanted to make just a point here real quick on this, just so folks can remember this one. Remember when Trump went, and all this talk of a Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? We're going to keep our Bitcoin. And before I go on, I do want to give a shout out there to Dennis. I did see that Dennis dropped us a 40 spot in the Thai bot. Dennis, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate all the support here tonight. Thank you for the gifts and support. Remember this, because everybody's all hyped up about the Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? We're going to keep our Bitcoin. We're going to buy more Bitcoin. RFK Jr. wanted us to start buying, 4 million per month or whatever it was, right? Okay, all this talk about that. Remember, though, what he said. Remember what Trump said when he went to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville this year. He didn't speak about how great Bitcoin was. He had nothing great to say about Bitcoin, essentially. He showed up to get the crypto vote. He showed up to get the attention. But what did he say? He said stablecoins are going to be key to expanding US dollar dominance, right? And so it wasn't Bitcoin. Never was. He said, maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll sell it to pay off our debt. He never said we're going to buy Bitcoin, right? But nonetheless, that to me is what sticks with me is 2 points here. The key to expanding US dollar dominance is stablecoins. This is from Trump. Okay, Ripple's now gone live with RLUSD. They're doing pressers. In tomorrow's update, I'm going to play the clips of Monica Long, the president of Ripple, the interview that she just did. And she confirmed that they've been partnered up with some of the biggest banks in the world. Yeah, I heard that one and I was like, okay, that's a perfect title right there. Biggest banks in the world confirmed. Sounds good to me. We can work with that. Ripple's going on an RLUSD parade right now with a Chainlink partnership that was just announced here today as well. That's going to expand the DeFi, and that was this morning's update, the XRP DeFi explosion that I'm predicting for 2025. But the second point that we need to take note of, Michael Saylor just was at Mar-a-Lago, but where's the picture of Michael Saylor with President Trump? Michael Saylor gets put off with Don Jr. Nothing against Don Jr., right? Don Jr. playing his role, doing a good job, meeting with Michael Saylor, and hopefully Michael Saylor's silliness didn't rub off too much on Don Jr. But I find it interesting that Don Jr. meets with Michael Saylor, but Brad Garlinghouse and Stu, well, they're hanging out with Trump. And Stu, I mean, look at this picture, guys. Stu feels comfortable enough to throw up the point at him, too. I mean, Brad's pretty straight up. Brad looks, nice and tight. But still, he's pointing at President Trump. And I just find it interesting that Michael Saylor, he doesn't get a meeting with the top dog. He doesn't get a meeting with the president. We put him off in the other room there with Don Jr., and we'll let Don vet him out a little bit. But the other point is that this is not just the first meeting here with Team Ripple and Trump. We were confirming that took place during the summer. Stu saying, quote, he listened to our story, which we know what the story is, right? And so this is not just one meeting. This is not just meeting with Don Jr. This is not just having a conversation like Charles Hoskinson saying, yeah, I might be part of a transition team. I might do something. I haven't seen Charles' picture yet. And maybe Charles will get a picture. Maybe Charles will be invited. But we know right now what's going down. There ain't no doubt about it what's taking place right now. That's why I titled this episode XRP White House, because XRP is in the White House. And XRP's been in the White House too. We've already gone through that in previous content, previous meetings. We know what's been going down. Now, what I love to see too is we actually are getting a bounce price-wise. Because I already know what some folks are going to say. Oh, all this great stuff, meeting with Trump, XRP White House. Where's the price action? We already did bounce. Go take a look at this chart right now, folks. Take a look at it. You have XRP back up to $2.33 right now. It did pop up to about $2.37. And this is after we back tested about $2.25 earlier today. So the entire market comes down today. But then we get a picture here from Brad Garlinghouse. And all of a sudden, XRP starts to move back up, recovering about 12 cents, which I understand that, is nothing to get, too excited about. But what I am taking note of is the fact that this is XRP moving without the rest of the space. The rest of the space is still down. The rest of the space has not bounced back up. XRP is really one of the only cryptos I'm seeing, at least in the top cryptos, that has made a bounce and is moving up. Right now, obviously, this is a late night session. I'm recording this at 8 o'clock on the West Coast, 11 o'clock Eastern. but XRP is moving up by itself. And that's something that I am going to take note of right there. Now, furthermore, do you guys remember all the complainers, right? All these guys, these builders that were complaining, oh, Brad and Ripple, they're not taking a look at my little project over here, and they should be giving me funding. And all these complainers saying that Brad and Team Ripple weren't doing enough for the XRP ecosystem. Well, to those complainers, I asked this simple question. Is explaining XRP and RLUSD to the President of the United States of America good enough? Can you answer that question for me? Okay. Sorry that Brad and Team Ripple doesn't have time to vet out your Mickey Mouse project. We're busy meeting with the largest institution, central banks, government, and the President of the United States of America. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we don't have time to look at your Mickey Mouse project. And nothing against the builders. I'm just, making a joke of it, right? The point being, they've always been in the room. And I talked about this with Chris Larson too. You got to see how the game's played here. Chris Larson takes one for the team. And he has to, he has to put on the clown face and donate $10 million worth of XRP to Kamala. That's how Chris is playing ball, is he puts on the clown face. He says that, yeah, I really do support Kamala and, we're going to do something great here. Okay, Chris, sure. Sure. Okay. So Chris takes one for the team over here. Meanwhile, Stu donated hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of XRP to Trump. And what Ripple did with Fairshake was have one of the most successful campaign runs in election history, in super PAC history. What the crypto lobby just did was one of the most successful campaigns that we've ever seen, ran by a super PAC, which there is a debate there to be had about the PACs and are they good? Are they bad for our politics? And it's kind of one of those deals where I feel like for us, we had to put up our defense, right? We had to develop this PAC to represent the interest of our industry. That's what these are supposed to be about. So yes, some of the political money kind of, go here, go there. And is there some shady stuff? 1000%. But what this crypto super PAC did and the efforts that we put forward in this election was one of the most successful. That's a fact. But I stand behind it because we were attacked as an industry. We wouldn't even have a voice. We wouldn't be here today if we didn't have Ripple putting up a fight against the SEC, spending over $200 million. If we didn't have the defense that has been put together by Ripple and others for Fairshake in this election, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't folks and companies like this that stood up and put up a fight. Now, furthermore, as I mentioned, Stuart Alvarado says, and to top it off, the beef bourguignon, and I had to write this down on a sticky note because I kept on forgetting how to pronounce this. And to top it off, the beef bourguignon, and I still am mispronouncing it, was really good. Now, I got this teed up for you guys, how to say beef bourguignon. And you can also say it in the French way. I got this one teed up for you guys. Here you go.
What is up, guys? Bonjour. This is Julian, the Frenchman who makes French pronunciation videos here on YouTube, and we are looking at how to pronounce the name of this delicious French dish that is traditional in French cuisine. This is a beef stew made with beef cooked in red wine for a very long time, together with a few carrots, a bit of onions, quite a bit of butter, and some herbs. This is how to say, you would say in English, beef bourguignon. In French, we say bœuf bourguignon. Bœuf bourguignon. Do not say bœuf bourguignon, but rather bœuf bourguignon, because yes, it means beef from Burgundy. Burgundian beef, if you wish. Bœuf bourguignon.
Bœuf bourguignon. Okay. And so I should have poured up the French wine here tonight. What does this mean, though? What does this symbolize? And I know you guys are saying, look at the ship, look at it. Yeah. Look at it all. Look at it all. The Riddlers are losing their minds tonight. The decoders are busy. And I got one for you right here. From Nick's Blackwood. In the late 19th century, during the height of the Industrial Revolution in France, it was a well-known custom among business magnates in Lyon that a dinner featuring beef bourguignon signified the successful closure of a deal. Hold up now. beef bourguignon signifies the successful closure of a deal, you say. The dish, rich and hearty, was seen as a symbol of prosperity and satisfaction. Businessmen would often finalize their negotiations over a bottle of red wine, and once terms were agreed upon, they would celebrate by ordering beef bourguignon, a meal that required time and care to prepare, mirroring the patience and effort put into their negotiations. Can you say perseverance? Riddler's going crazy tonight. This culinary tradition became so ingrained in the business culture that seeing beef bourguignon on the table was as good as seeing a signed contract. Beef bourguignon. I might put that on a shirt. How about that for some merch? We're having beef bourguignon tonight. Come on, folks. Can we cheers to that? To some beef bourguignon? Celebrating a successful closure of a deal? And these deals go back. I've been saying XRP and Ripple have been in the White House. We've shown those connections. But now it's for everybody to see. The veil has been lifted. Can we cheers to some beef bourguignon here tonight? How are you guys feeling tonight? Let's go. Now, Anders. Anders says that the Trump administration will do whatever they can to make sure that a US-based crypto dominates the crypto market, alongside with a US-based company that's holding nearly half the supply. That US-based company, named Ripple, will also expand the US dollar around the world thanks to issuing its own US dollar stablecoin, RLUSD. As I mentioned, right what Trump said at Bitcoin Nashville. The key to expanding US dollar dominance is stablecoins. That company has also created and perfected their own B2B cross-border payment system that's rivaling SWIFT, which has to adhere to US sanctions, which will go hand in hand with their stablecoin. I mean, it's so obvious why Trump would favor Ripple that even making this post seems unnecessary. And so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel like I've been underestimating how strongly Trump was going to lean into Ripple. Like, I thought we were going to be there. I thought we were going to be in the clear. I thought maybe, just maybe, Brad might be involved. But this is like full. I mean, Trump hasn't come out and said that he owns XRP or that XRP is going to be the strategic reserve. But is he meeting with anybody else in the space? I mean, he's not meeting with anybody else that's basically launched a token. I mean, obviously, Brad and Stu and Ripple didn't create XRP. Technically, they didn't create it. But, they're not Trump's just not meeting with anybody else. I mean, Michael Saylor, like I said, was invited to Mar-a-Lago, but not to meet with Trump. Unless they did meet and I didn't see it. But all I saw was the picture with Don Jr. That's a big difference. And I said this at the time with Charles Hoskinson. As I said, it's a big difference between talking about being with Trump and Trump's team. And it's another thing to be at Mar-a-Lago, to be shoulder to shoulder with him, and to be pointing at him like he's your best buddy. And that's what Stu was doing. Once again, take a look at the picture. Stu's all up in here. These guys are comfy with Trump and Mar-a-Lago. Comfy. With the ships in the back. When I saw that, I thought, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. These decoders and riddlers are going to lose their minds. Folks, this is game on. I was underestimating how deep we were going to get into the White House. I thought we were going to be in the clear. I thought that maybe what I thought was going to happen is Brad was going to show up at a round table. We'd already seen Brad's already been at some round tables in DC. And I thought that maybe that would be as far as this goes. And Brad would get an appearance at a round table with Trump. Trump would say, yeah, here's the business leaders from America in the crypto industry. We got Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple over here. We got Brian Armstrong, Charles Hoskinson. Yes, we did let him in. And I'm just joking. I have nothing against Charles and Cardano. All the best. A rising tide lifts all boats. So I'm just joking around. But you get the point. I didn't think that it was going to be like this, where nobody else is in the building with Trump. And I'll make this point too, just so we're clear. For anybody that doesn't like Trump, okay, you need to set that aside for a moment. at least when it comes to this investment in XRP. Do you want to win? Do you want to create generational wealth? Do you want to create a level playing field? Do you want America to win? Do you want XRP to be used as a neutral bridge currency on the world stage to level the playing field? If you're an American, do you want to see Ripple's RLUSD grow and expand to continue expanding US dollar dominance based on the merits, based on what backs our dollar besides the largest military known to man? Can we actually back our dollar by a strong economy, by real assets, by real commodities, by real production, by real GDP? Because we know that the GDP growth that we've been experiencing is nothing but inflation. It's nothing but the cost of the same goods and services has been going up. We ain't producing more. That's an absolute joke, just like the rest of the economic data that they've been feeding us. But I'll tell you what's not a joke. Ripple and XRP in the White House. It's not speculation. Okay, maybe it is a riddle. Maybe there is something to decode. It's not speculation. It's happening, guys. This is it. This is it. And let me know as soon as we see another crypto project in Mar-a-Lago meeting with Trump. Not just getting in, not just sneaking into Mar-a-Lago to do a photo op with Don Jr. Sitting down with Trump. Not once, not twice. I mean, we don't know how many meetings have actually happened. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Because I've been saying this for years, that Ripple is one of the few, if not the only, crypto company that can actually get some of these institutions to pick up the phone. That can actually get in a meeting with some of these institutions and some of these big players. Most of the crypto space can't get these guys to pick up the phone or return a call. None of it. If they walked in the building of these institutions, these people would tell security to get them the hell out. Literally. I mean, imagine, pick your fighter. I understand that some people think that Vitalik has some pretty good raps with the Ethereum parties that they have. I've heard they're good times. I heard that Joseph Lubin likes to get down. I'm going to need to take another sip of my adult beverage just thinking of that crap show. Pick your fighter. Joseph Lubin scratching his elbow. Vitalik Buterin in a unicorn t-shirt. Okay? Or Brad and Stu. Shoulder to shoulder. Buddy buddy. Bestest of friends with the President of the United States of America. There is no competition. XRP is in full control of this bull run now. This is the XRP show. 2025 will be the year of XRP once again. Just like Brad's been mentioning, when we had a level playing field and we took that 2 spot, we're creeping up, we're moving, and you're seeing it here right now as the XRP price bounces up. The XRP does have some catalyst here in the pipeline that can move XRP on its own. I haven't checked. Is XLM pumping? Why does XLM always do this? XLM will follow right behind us. Has nothing to do. Jed McCaleb is not in Mar-a-Lago. He's not in the White House. XLM, not really much of a bounce. A little bit of a bounce, I guess. XLM did come back down here to about 41.5 cents, and it looks like it's up just a little bit. So not much of a bounce there for XLM. We'll be watching it. Now, want to transition here into some other news. Before I do, I wanted to say that, yes, we do have the merch, and we got some new merch on the way, too. I'm actually getting a mock-up of the new Bearable Guy picture with the bear on the horse, the knight on the horse, the castle, with the ship in the background, that most recent drop that we got on, was that December 23rd or Christmas Eve? I got that mock-up on the way, and I wanted to see how it looks on the shirt before we add it. But as soon as we get to take a look at that one's coming on the way too. And I'm thinking of some other designs that we're going to have in the works here with maybe Trump, maybe Brad Garlinghouse and Stu. Maybe we ought to put them on a shirt too. So the merch has been hitting really good, and I just want to say thank you for your support. I hope you guys are really liking it. Now, this is really important. This is in regards to the Coinbase lawsuit. And what we're seeing here is that Coinbase has actually been granted their motion for leave to pursue an interlocutory appeal and stayed the district court litigation. We appreciate the court's careful consideration. On the Second Circuit we go. Jeremy Hogan breaks this down. Big news in the legal crypto space. The judge in the SEC versus Coinbase case has stayed the lawsuit until the appellate court rules on whether an investment contract requires an actual contract. This also is the main point of contention in the Ripple appeal. The granting of an interlocutory appeal is rare and indicates that the trial level judge thinks that there is something there. Now, if you recall, the SEC tried to file for an interlocutory appeal, and Judge Torres said, hell no. Nice try. Denied. And she denied that. And as Jeremy Hogan points out, this is rare for these to get accepted. And so the fact that the judge is willing to see this and hear this out really signifies that there is something going on there. Now, this guy posted this breakdown of what Grok had to say as far as summarizing this and the implications. A favorable ruling for Coinbase could significantly limit the SEC's regulatory power over cryptocurrencies, particularly in terms of how secondary market transactions are classified. Conversely, if the SEC's position is upheld, it would reinforce the agency's broad interpretation of what constitutes a security in the crypto space. This appeal reflects ongoing tensions and legal disputes about how, yeah, we understand that. Basically, if Coinbase wins on this, we will get further clarity. It will add to the ruling that we got in the XRP case. The XRP in and of itself is not a security. This will really, rubber stamp it once again. I mean, this is like doubling down on the ruling, clarifying that secondary sales are in the clear. Now, some lawyers say that secondary sales weren't considered, that they were only considering the sales done by Ripple. And although that is true, you have to note the wording that Judge Torres put out that, quote, XRP in and of itself is not a security, which extends out to secondary market sales, providing clarity for us that the token itself is never the security, but it can be packaged up in a security. Now, whether or not these secondary market sales are an investment contract, that's what's in dispute here right now. And if Coinbase wins on this point, this will be massive for the cryptocurrency space. So once again, we're supposed to believe that the SEC is going to go through with this appeal, even though Ripple and Brad are meeting with Trump right now. There's not a chance. This case is over. Furthermore, Coinbase, in their legal battle right now, making big strides and a big victory, just being allowed to file and being granted this interlocutory appeal. That's a big deal. That means that we get a chance. And upon this ruling, I mean, this could provide big time clarity for secondary market sales. And as far as reining back in the SEC, would be a court ruling, another one working against the SEC. And what's coming down the pipeline here in 2025, obviously further crypto regulations. New SEC Chair Paul Atkins seems to be on board. He really understands the Ripple case, by the way. And we could see broader legislation and regulation codifying into law these rulings from the Ripple SEC case, this ruling for Coinbase, and other rulings like Grayscale and others, where the court ruled that the SEC was arbitrary and capricious. Now, furthermore, Ripple has been trending. XRP has been trending. Ripple's been doing the RLUSD parade. Monica Long was on Bloomberg. Another interview with Brad just dropped this week as well. And we just had the guy on Fox Business. I covered that this morning. He was he's from a group actually based out of Seattle over here in my neck of the woods, who Sound Planning Group. He's the CEO of Sound Planning Group. And he was just on Fox Business there yesterday explaining why he's so out of all the cryptocurrencies, he's the most bullish on XRP, citing 83 patents that Bank of America has to use Ripple's products and XRP. And so the coverage is there. The other thing that's happening is that we're seeing the builders and the developers are starting to flood in as well too. That's what this is right here. Dom from Easy A. Ripple is trending right now with 1 million plus posts. Did someone leak what we're doing with Ripple and Easy App next? So we got the announcement today, partnering up with Chainlink for RLUSD. Check that box. That's for oracles. That's for bringing off-chain data onto the blockchain. Absolutely critical. Need it for DeFi. Need it for RLUSD to be used in DeFi. Love to see it. That's great. Ripple's been working closely with this group, Easy A, which has millions of developers that are building out now and getting exposure to the XRP ledger through their products. So this is all coming together right now. And that's why I titled the episode this morning, the 2025 XRP DeFi Explosion. This is starting with DeFi, being played around with memes, adding meme coins to the AMMs, starting to play around with these liquidity pools. But where this is going and the flood of liquidity that's about to come in that really moves the needle as far as XRP price going higher is going to be the institutional DeFi explosion. Zach Rector, who is the community liaison of Chainlink, and you guys might recall, I actually called out Zach Rector a few weeks ago because he put out that silly comment about, he made a dig on XRP and Ripple basically. And it was completely uncalled for, completely ridiculous. And I called out, I said, how are you going to be the community liaison and you're spending time over here digging on XRP? And now that Ripple's partnered up with Chainlink, and now that we're going to tap in and use Chainlink, well, okay, now we better hop on the XRP train. So the community liaison, Zach Rector, he's responding to Hugo right here. And I'm going to comment on Hugo here next. Because a lot of folks made the comment, why did they not choose Flare for oracles? Why did they go with Chainlink? Well, Zach Rector says that Ripple is adopting Chainlink is interesting because in order for RLUSD to gain traction in DeFi, they need Chainlink price feeds. For example, RLUSD is getting listed on Aave, largest DeFi lending market, 20 billion of total value lock, because of this new Chainlink feed being deployed. The vast majority of DeFi apps, including Aave, use Chainlink because of the network's 5+ year robust track record of security and reliability. Hundreds of dApps across dozens of blockchains use Chainlink to actively secure tens of billions in total value lock. This is why Ripple adopted Chainlink. There's no practical alternative. And I'd have to agree. I would. Chainlink is much further along than Flare. And I'm going to vent some of my frustration with Flare here next. But you have to understand here, this, the rest of the space had all of this available. They had smart contracts. They've had DeFi. They've had an AMM. They had NFTs. They had memes. Now, the XRP ledger is getting all of this. What's different, though, is the XRP ledger is adding all of this programmability, all of this functionality for our builders isn't wrapped up in smart contracts. It's not wrapped up where you have to go through a third party. You can utilize the XRP ledger DEX and you're working directly with the layer 1 protocol, completely decentralized. You don't have to go to a Uniswap type third party and deploy your assets through a smart contract that a third party wrote to put your assets to work in the XRP AMM. That's not how it works. It's built into the layer 1, completely decentralized. And so if you have the know-withal, the wherewithal to know how to use the XRP ledger DEX, you can do so without having any sort of middleman, any sort of smart contract getting in the way. And that's going to be the same for all of these other functionalities that are being brought to the XRP ledger. Now, of course, there are platforms that are bringing user interfaces that are making this a lot more accessible and easier to use these tools. This is XP Market, this is X Magnetic, this is platforms like First Ledger that basically created a pump fund for XRP, but now they've added the ability for you to add your assets to the AMM directly from First Ledger. So you can put Mickey Mouse coin and XRP into the AMM and help provide liquidity for your Mickey Mouse meme coin. And the DeFi is starting with that. And right now, if I go to DeFi Llama, what you'll see is that our total value lock on the XRP ledger is only about 60 million. RLUSD is only at a market cap of about 70 million. Okay, this is playing around. This is practice. This is warm-ups. Okay. And as Zach Rector from Chainlink points out, what this is doing is getting us assets, is getting us feeds of price data, of off-chain data that's going to be brought to the XRP ledger, but it's going to get us access to these platforms that have tens of billions of total value lock already going on. And so one of my predictions for this 2025 is that we're going to see the market cap of RLUSD, I think, is going well over 10 billion this year, well over 10 billion. And I think that that's going to easily happen, actually. And I'm expecting RLUSD, once the AMM amendment for clawbacks get added, that's going to be the biggest liquidity pool on the XRP ledger, is going to be XRP and RLUSD. And just within that pool, we could see billions of total value lock just within that pool rather quickly as well. But as more and more of these real world assets get tokenized and brought on chain, you're going to see that total value lock. We're not going to be talking about 60 million getting put into our AMMs. We're going to be talking about individual pools that are worth hundreds of millions, individual pools that are worth billions of dollars. We're going to be talking about the XRP and RLUSD AMM liquidity pool having billions of total value lock just within that pool. Now, where this goes is not just the 10, 20 billion that Aave and some of these other, blockchains have been playing around with. Where this goes is trillions, tens of trillions, and even hundreds of trillions of value that gets brought on the chain. And, a fraction of that ends up getting put into the AMM for liquidity. That's where the total value lock metric comes from. TVL is basically the calculation of how much is in our AMM liquidity pools. And cumulatively, it's only 60 million. It's nothing. Once again, just about 3 weeks ago, we finally got listed on DEX Screener for the rest of the crypto space to become aware that we have a DEX. And the sick part of that joke is that we've had the first DEX ever. Going back to 2012 when the XRP ledger went live, we already had a DEX. But here we are in 2024, and we're finally getting listed on these platforms like DEX Screener, DEX Tools, that showcase to the rest of the crypto space we actually have that capability. And once people find out that it's not just cheap, fast, and efficient payments, and it's not just a banker's coin, and we do have NFTs, AMMs, memes, smart contracts, connected through other blockchains, programmability, on-chain lending. Once they see that, right, you're going to see builders, businesses, institutions, from the top down, from the bottom up, everybody is going to be showing up to the XRP ledger because it has that track record. Just like the community liaison from Chainlink points out, why was Chainlink chosen? Because they have 5+ years of a robust track record of security and reliability. They've proven themselves. Well, the XRP ledger has proven itself. And what we now need to show is that we can add this programmability and still scale up to handle more transactions, more throughput, more liquidity in here. And that's when we're really going to shine and take control of this bull run for 2025. Now, I got to make some comments here. I'm going to take a sip of my adult beverage before I do, and I do want to give a shout out to the super chat. I saw we have at least one super chat, so let me check that real quick. Cheers, everybody. Now, who dropped the super chat? SLT. Issa Gotti, thank you. SLT is the salute token on the XRP ledger. Speaking of the memes. Salute community on First Ledger loves your channel. I appreciate that, my friend. I really do. Thank you so much. We salute Rector CM with the 589 Canadian. I appreciate that. We've been having this happen here recently, haven't we? I swear I'm not sponsored by these meme coins, okay? But we've had some takeovers of these meme coins coming in here, haven't we? They're trying to get me to buy their little meme coins, huh? I might take a look. I have been known to buy a meme coin or two back in my day. Issa Gotti dropped a 10 spot too from the salute community on First Ledger. Appreciate you. Much love. Yeah, I saw the salute one. Reading a couple comments here real quick before I continue. On behalf of the Salute community, we salute to you, Zach. You guys, they showed up and made it rain here tonight. Okay. Checking comments real quick. Let's continue. I'm frustrated with Flare. Okay. I'm frustrated. I'm taking a moment to pause so that I can stay cool, calm, and collected. But where the hell are F assets? Hugo, Team Flare, why have we not delivered F assets yet? Okay, so this is a comment that Hugo had made. And in the last post, let me say this too. This is Zach Rhines, the community liaison, who was responding to Hugo. He is responding to the news of the Chainlink partnership with Ripple, and he says, I'm at a loss as to why this would be interesting. Ripple needs an oracle so that RUSD can be used in lending protocols on Ethereum. Flare doesn't provide oracles to other networks yet. Okay, why? Why? What have you guys been building? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not a developer, so I don't know. I don't know what this takes. I don't know what it takes to go live with F assets. I'm going to show you in the next comment, though, what he said was what we were waiting for F assets to go live. I don't know what this takes. All I know is that I've been waiting like 2 years for F assets to go live, for crying out loud. Flare went live in January of 2023. They were working on it before that, though. And one of the main value propositions for Flare was F assets, was bringing staking and DeFi and programmability, smart contracts to Doge, Bitcoin, and XRP, because these networks didn't have that. And F assets would allow you to, bring those assets over to Flare to get some programmability, to be able to do something, get some DeFi cooking. This is what I was most interested in. Yes, you can delegate your Flare and earn more of the token. Okay, cool. That's great. But what the biggest value proposition for me when I looked at Flare, it was the F assets. Nobody else was doing this. Of course, there are other bridges that have been built where you can wrap your token and go use it over here and there. But this looked like to be one of the most promising, developments in the crypto space, where Flare was going to be able to bring these assets that didn't have programmability and to be able to give them that. Okay, well, we've been waiting 2 years for F assets to go live. The XRP ledger is already adding programmability. At this pace, not only is the XRP ledger going to have smart contract programmability before F assets go live, Bitcoin's going to have programmability, for crying out loud, before F assets go live. I mean, maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic, but for crying out loud, when are F assets going live? And why is Hugo out here trying to act like this isn't interesting and act like this is not important? This was an incredible opportunity, a massive missed opportunity, not just for providing an oracle to the XRP ledger, but they should be providing oracles to every other network. What's the point of the FTSO oracles? To provide just data within Flare? We got to expand. We got to be providing feeds to these other blockchains. Why do you think Chainlink is as big as it is? I'm not a Link Marine. I don't own any Chainlink. But I respect Chainlink. There's a reason why every single blockchain taps into Chainlink. And Hugo's over here like, I'm at a loss as to why this would be interesting. I'm at a loss as to why F assets aren't live, bro. Where are they? When are they coming? Apparently, there's bigger opportunities. Flare doesn't provide oracles to other networks yet. It's something that may come, but there are much bigger opportunities to pursue first. F assets and native staking for XRP and Bitcoin to name but two. And Vet points out, We'll also get yield farming, staking on the XRP ledger plus smart contracts. As I'm saying, we're going to get programmability before F assets go live. We won't need Flare. There already is an amendment, if I'm not mistaken, for oracles on the XRP ledger. I don't know where that's at. Does anybody in the comments know? Maybe somebody can look it up real quick on the XRP scan, see where that's in the amendment pipeline. XRP oracles. We're going to have our own oracles. We're going to have our own smart contracts before F assets go live. So what's Hugo talking about? I'm at a loss as to why this is interesting. I don't like this. I don't like it. I own Flare. I still am excited about Flare. I still think that Flare's a good, I mean, shoot, the dang thing's at 2.5 cents or whatever it's at right now. Probably went back down to a little bit lower today. Let me check on Flare. Yeah, it's below 2.5 cents right now. I still think it's a great opportunity to get in on Flare and ride this sucker up to just even 10, 20 cents this bull run. Catch a 4 or 5x, catch a 10x on Flare, right? I still think that that's coming. I still think that Flare is going to move this bull run. Don't think that I'm trying to like just FUD on Flare. I'm invested in Flare. I've been rooting for Flare. I was excited about Flare. I would love to have Hugo on my show to explain what's going on. Where are we at? Because I pulled up this post right here. Hugo says, I'm seeing a lot of messages. This was posted on November 14th. I'm seeing a lot of messages about the bull run and people saying, release F assets now. He says, we cannot release F assets until the FTSO has a reliable price for USDX. We are waiting for USDX to be listed. This is up to the issuer of USDX and is out of our hands. USDX is a stablecoin on Flare. Up until now, Flare had not issued any stablecoins on their blockchain. I if I'm not mistaken, what I was asking Grok this and seeing what Grok, I was getting all my answers from Grok because I was looking this up, and I asked, has USDX gone live? And it has. So USDX is live. This is a stablecoin that was issued by somebody else, Hex Trust, which has no relationship to Hex. Don't worry, because that was my first, at least I don't think that they do. Because I saw Hex Trust and I was like, oh, are you serious? Hugo? Which it's kind of funny just to, Hugo, the name Hugo is just hilarious in and of itself. I was like, really, Hugo? We're going to rely on Hex to issue our stable, but it's not. It's different. But this is live. I don't know why they were waiting for this to go live for F assets. I mean, the whole idea is to provide programmability and functionality to these blockchains that don't have smart contracts. Why do you need a stable coin on Flare to do so? That doesn't make sense to me, but maybe I'm missing something. Once again, I'm not a developer. So maybe this is some megalithic task to develop this out. I feel like these developers milk it. I know how. I know what this is like back in the business. You know, you look at a job that you don't really want to do, and you say, "Oh man, this one's going to take this and that. That's an upcharge. That's another upcharge." You know, you walk around the property. That's an upcharge. That's an upcharge. Oh, you need it done this week. That's an upcharge. You know, and sometimes I feel like the developers are doing that with us. These guys are, oh, you know, I got 30 developers on the team. Everybody's earning 6 figures. My payroll's $5 million per month. And you're like, you guys haven't built anything. What's the product here? You know, on some of these chains, you know, on some of these projects, it's like, I feel like these developers are, they're like a contractor. That's an upcharge. Oh, that's another year. Oh, we got to wait for the weather to be good. I mean, why are F assets not live, for crying out loud? We're waiting for good weather. And he says, if you really believe in blockchain, then this bull run hasn't even scratched the surface and we have a long way to go. Being panicky about what happens over a 2-week time frame is a sign that you don't really believe in the future of crypto. As CEO of Flare Labs and a chairman of the Flare Foundation, I can't be panicky. I must lead the team to build methodologically. Okay, I'm not going to try to. For the future that is coming. Okay, here's the problem. This is not a 2-week time frame. Hugo, we're not panicking over a 2-week time frame. We've been waiting for 2 years, bro. Okay, I mean, this is like Ethereum. How many upgrades are we going to do and nothing's still been fixed? And now, I put out a tweet here today, and maybe I'll pull it up here real quick to show you guys. I pulled this tweet up here earlier. I said, I retweeted, I said, USDX is now live. So when will F assets be going live on mainnet? Because in that tweet, the only thing that he said that we were waiting on was for this stablecoin to be issued on Flare. Okay, it's live. And right now, it's being tested on Songbird. So F assets are being tested in beta. And there's a whole lot of beta going on over here at Flare, let me tell you. Because, okay, we're still testing this thing out on Songbird. And Hugo tells us not to be panicky after we've been waiting 2 years. And it's not just, bro, it's not panicky. We just lost business to Chainlink. And you're struggling to see why this is interesting? I can't understand for the life of me some of these CEOs, some of these projects. One, as somebody who lives, breathes marketing, sales every single day. Obviously, I don't really sell as much anymore now that I've sold off my business. But for the past 10 years running my property service business, I mean, I was selling every single day and I was living, breathing, and I will be dying still selling something, right? And as somebody who's in content and media every single day, I struggle to see some of these projects, the way that they do this and the way that they come out and run their mouths. But in this instance, I mean, some of these guys are so nonchalant about this. Like, I don't really get why this is interesting. Well, I might just end up being one of the biggest stablecoins in the space. My prediction, ROUSD will become the biggest stablecoin in the space. You had the opportunity to provide price oracles to it, but that's not interesting. It's not interesting. What's interesting? Don't just tell me that this is something that you don't do and that there's bigger opportunities without telling me what those bigger opportunities are. And see, I mean, obviously, we're not invested in a company. We're not invested in a stock, but we're invested in these ecosystems. We are stakeholders of these ecosystems. All of crypto is community. And what's actually being built on the chain and the value coming in and the liquidity flowing. That's all that matters. How much value can you get on the chain? How much liquidity can you get going through? And some of the biggest value propositions for Flare have not been delivered. I mean, the biggest one is F assets, and it hasn't been delivered yet. And what is not interesting about providing oracles to all these other blockchains, it's, allowed Chainlink. Where's Chainlink at right now? I'm pulling up CoinMarketCap. Chainlink is the 13th largest crypto with a $13 billion market cap. Where's Flare at? Flare has a $1 billion market cap and it's ranked number 73. Okay. And obviously it's a lot newer. It's not as old as Chainlink, but that's the problem, is that we're trying to play catch up. And there is opportunities that we shouldn't be missing, that we shouldn't be so nonchalant about. And I'm just venting. Let me read the comments right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say. For those of you guys invested in Flare, how does this make you feel? Hugo, saying that it's not very interesting to provide price oracle feeds to ROUSD. The fact that F assets have not been delivered yet. How does it make you feel? Flare is waiting for David to give him the nod. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody says Flare is dead. I'm rooting for Flare. That's the thing. And right now, you're losing market share, right? I'll relate it back to my property service business, right? A new development goes up. Okay. As those houses are getting filled out, and as new homeowners come in, they're calling up for services. They're calling up for, property services, inside, outside, you name it, right? And there's only one opportunity really to lock these guys down at first. Of course, maybe down the road, opportunities will come back, right? They'll sign a 1-year contract. Next year, the contract will be back up. But when we got a new development and it's opened up, we go in to dominate. Are you kidding me? I mean, normally you would go in and you would incentivize the first client to get on board. You tell the first client, hey, we'll do it for cheap. Don't tell your neighbor, but we'll give you a little first one on the block. All you got to do is tell your neighbors about our services. I mean, this is how I built my business. And I don't see how it doesn't relate to what we're talking about right now in the cryptocurrency space. ROUSD just went live. It's wide open and available for anybody to provide a price oracle. Not interesting. What is Flare intended to do? Be an airdrop? That's it. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think on Flare? What do you think on these developments? Because to me, I mean, I've just, it's disappointing. Drew Smith says, extra points to everyone who's noticed Brad and Stu held off their post picture until 1/7 at 7:10 p.m. Flare is simply trying to time the pump. Once pumped suddenly, Hugo will be all, ta-da, we're done. Yeah, I mean, he better get in here quick because it's moving quickly. He says, oh yeah, the bull run's going to be long and all. Yes, but there's opportunity right now, right? There's room. I did put Hugo on blast. Yeah. Sometimes, and once again, I'm not here to be friends. I'm here to create generational wealth, right? And if we create some friends along the way, that's great, right? But I'm not paid by Ripple. I'm not paid by anybody. So at the end of the day, I'm free to speak however I want about this. And I'm happy to be corrected. If the developers and the builders can come to me and explain why it's taking years to do these things, then okay, that makes sense, right? But for me, it's just frustrating. Uncle Spank, thank you for the 10 spot. I came across you watching Mickle. Love your work, mate. Cheers from Australia. Hope you love my new clock. Only one ever made. Your new clock? What are you talking about with your new clock, Uncle Spank? That's quite the name there, Uncle Spank. I'm not going to ask you how you got that name. But, okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shout out to Mickle. Shout out to Mickle. AI Cat. Appreciate that. AI Cat on the XRP ledger. Meow. Okay. These memesters got me saying all the craziest things. They got me meowing here on the stream. Yes, I understand that the F assets are being tested on Songbird right now. I understand that. I was hoping that they would be live by now. That's what I was hoping for. Big B, appreciate the 3. Big B, appreciate you, my friend. James Hall, thank you for the 5 spot. Zach Rector, 100,000 subs. Heck yeah, great job. Hey, still debating on XRP Las Vegas trip. Still no road dog, and trip is over 3,000. Spending every dollar I can on XRP right now. James, I hear you, my friend. I definitely hear you. I was hoping that XRP was going to pump up to some of my take profit levels so that I could actually fund my XRP Las Vegas trip from the XRP pump. But we'll see. I'm still waiting. And yeah, I got to get my tickets here because I know it's going to sell out. I know it's moving fast and it's going to be a big one. So yeah, XRP Las Vegas. I cannot wait to be back with the community once again. And we already got 3 community meetups. I was just talking with my Discord group yesterday. And so we're going to be meeting at Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. I'm going to be in Arizona in March. Once again, family vacation back down to Arizona. So I'm going to be meeting up with some of the family down there. And then we'll be having an additional community meetup at XRP Las Vegas as well. Separate side event. But yeah, we got 3 events, 3 meetups in the first half of this year. Really looking forward. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. I'm a guy who likes to get, in person, shaking hands, giving hugs, have an adult beverage, having a good time. We can rant and rave about Hugo together or others, and really just having a good time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But thank you. Zach, I'm surprised you're not on the Chainlink wagon and invested for diversification purposes. I see the room for Chainlink to run. It's just the upside potential on it isn't as big for me as what I see on other cryptos that I've invested in. Chainlink, I do think will have a nice little run. But yeah, I don't own any Chainlink right now. My flare is falling asleep. You have a tons of friends that are behind you 100% and you have never met. I will meet you one day. Joe, and that's the craziest thing about this whole journey has been not just, the community that we've built out here in the States, but people worldwide too. Like that still blows me away. Every time I think about that, it's hard to even wrap my mind around that crazy Aussies are listening to this stream right now. In the land down under, some crazy Aussies are listening to this live show right now. On top of the folks that we have around the rest of the world as well too. But I have to shout out the crazy Aussies. Appreciate you guys. Now, yep. Couple more things. Really looks like I just have one more thing and then we'll go into Q&A. One more thing here and then we'll go into Q&A. A little bit of TA. Bassy picked up on this, and I hadn't looked at this. What he's showing us is that on the weekly time frame, the 2017 fractal is still following exactly to a T. So I'd been looking, and we've been talking about this 2017 fractal, right? Everybody in TA land's been talking about the 2017 fractal and noting how interesting it is, how closely we're following it. But what Bassy had pointed out here that I hadn't taken a look at, or at least I hadn't noticed this, is that on the weekly time frame, we are following it exactly. And if we continue to follow it, the next 3 weeks are going to be green candles on the weekly chart. Okay. So what does that mean? It means like days like today are another pullback liquidation event because the rest of the crypto space is over leveraged. The rest of the crypto space is way over leveraged. That's why everybody keeps on getting wrecked, because everybody's going long. 20x, 50x, 100x leverage. You keep on getting killed. It's no surprise. But what's happening is that the XRP floor has been established here at $2. And what happened here today is that we got brought back to $2.25. But then as the picture of Brad Garlinghouse with Trump started circulating, the number bounced back up. And so we're already moving back up here right now. And what Bassy has found here, okay, we're at 230, so we're cooling off a little bit right now. But the bounce is there. But I want to show you guys here what he found is that if we continue to follow the 2017 fractal on the weekly chart, the next 3 weeks, including this week, will be green, meaning today's pullback is a temporary pullback. And if we still follow the fractal, this week will finish green. So let's take a look. He says, it's scary to see red days and movements to the downside. I'm just happy that price is moving. I hate stagnant sideways movement, which has felt like it's gone on for eternity. And I think that us in the XRP community, we have PTSD of moving sideways for 7 years, right? I mean, it's been a rough go. So any volatility we appreciate. We would rather, a lot of us would rather actually see the price go down somewhat, give us another opportunity to buy the dip, than just stay sideways and flat. We have PTSD from that. That is torture to the XRP community. He says, but you need to zoom out. We have over 5 days left on the week. XRP will turn green. And I still believe that we will hit all-time high this week or next at the latest. Whoa. As a prediction, I predicted all-time high this month. Bassy says this week or next week. Not me. Don't come at me. You can come at me if we don't hit all-time high this month. Okay? On February 1st, mark your calendar. Come make fun of me. Please do. Please do. I'll make fun of myself. I'm happy to do so. But Bassy comes in here and he's predicting XRP to all-time high this week or next week. If you've followed me for the past while, you will know not to get shaken out by this one red day. We're still on track for $8 to $9. And at least I know if the price goes to zero, I won't beat myself up. I have my targets, I have my plan, and I will execute without emotion. If they are hit, great. If they're not, then oh well. I've invested what I can afford to lose. But if you ask me, I think we're going to be just fine. Breathe. Let's take a look at his charts. I'm going to zoom in here on this chart for you guys. This is the chart here today. He's showing the big red candle right here. XRP coming back down, and it went all the way down to about 225. But what you see here on this next chart, this is the 2017 fractal. And if we follow this, then the next 1, 2, 3 weeks are going to be green. And let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, right up at the top here, it's in small print. It says $8.91. So not only would we be going to all-time high, we would be going up to about $8 if we continue to follow this 2017 fractal. Now, I'm going to pull up the XRP weekly chart because what I would like to do is I would like to see where we closed off our week at. Okay, so we closed off the week at 240. Okay, here's your weekly chart on XRP. What you see is that we closed off our week here at 240, and that's where we started the new candle. Okay, now we've come back down, so our weekly candle's red right now, but he's saying if we follow the 2017 fractal over the next little bit here, not only are we going to all-time high, but we're going to be going up towards 7, 8, almost $9 for your XRP. This candle turns green, this candle would turn green, and this candle would turn green. So by the end of this month, we would be back at all-time high for XRP. Now, I'm going to consider $3.85 the all-time high. That's the number that I'm rolling with. I forget which exchange it is that pulled $3.84 for XRP back in 2018. Some exchanges only show $3.30. Some show all the way up to $3.84. I don't know any exchange that showed higher than that. So if we go to $3.85, that would confirm the all-time high across all of the exchanges. So if we don't go to 385 by the end of this month, you can come back and you can tell me that I suck. Okay? You can come back and say whatever you want. That's fine. The main reason why I had this prediction is because, yeah, the technicals are there. And if we follow the fractal, everything, it looks like it's going. But I am speculating that speculation, the settlement, or just, the SEC allows the time to pass and they don't file the brief for their appeal, the appeal would be dropped, the case would be over, Ripple pays the fine of $125 million, and we're off to the races. I predicted this before I knew that Brad and Stu were set up for another meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So that's just adding more fuel to my speculation and conviction that we are going to be going to an all-time high this month. Now, for you guys in the XRP community that have been here for a while, you may be in a different position than new folks. I know a lot of new folks coming in are hopeful that they can just continue to stack this asset for the time being while it's low. What I'm worried about for those folks is that this thing's going to be really not necessarily unattainable, but we're not going to be stacking the same bag here soon because that number is going to go up and it's going to be moving up here quickly. For those of us that have been around for a while, we're finally going to be at some levels where some folks are going to consider taking profit. The good news is for those who don't want to sell but still want to be able to leverage your XRP, what we're seeing right now is a bunch of new programs come about right now already, but then much more will be coming down the pipeline as we have these amendments added to the XRP ledger, like on-chain lending. Once that's added, you're going to see many different platforms and programs created that will allow you to leverage your XRP without selling. And what I'm so fascinated about is seeing where we establish the new floor price at. Is XRP going to $5 or $50 this year? That's going to be a lot of fun to find out. But what I'm very interested in is seeing where XRP's new floor price will be established. The floor price that we've established right now is $2. You were given 3 chances to pick up XRP below $2 just in the past month. You were given 3 chances to buy XRP sub $2. I am of the opinion that you will never see sub $2 again. So if I get that prediction wrong, you can come back and make fun of me for that one as well too. Okay. But what I see, technicals are being added to the fundamentals, all converging with the legal competitive advantage. And now we can add the fact that we're meeting with the President of the United States of America, which is not a bad bullish catalyst to add into our consideration. With that being said, though, I want to open it up for Q&A. I want to see what else you guys are talking about. I want to see what else is on your guys' mind. Please go ahead, if you guys haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. And I would greatly appreciate it if you like our video. But let's go into our Q&A. I still have an adult beverage to sip on. My ice cubes are melted, but that's okay. Is there a connection with XRP and CBDC? Yes. Dozens of central banks have already been working with Ripple on their central bank digital currencies. And then Ripple's launched the stablecoin here in the United States. And I believe that the United States won't have a CBDC. I think that we're going to have stablecoins. I think that we're going to have multiple issuers of stablecoins. I don't think that we get a CBDC here in America, though. Do I only stream from TikTok? No, I'm live on X and YouTube right now. We have over 4,000 viewers here tonight between the 3 platforms. Zach, big fan. What are your thoughts on the geopolitical implications for technologies like XRP continuing to gain adoption and the potential for DLT to undermine the USA's ability to sanction? The United States was losing its ability to sanction before this. But, you know, what we've seen is that all these countries that are trying to get away from the dollar, they're struggling. It's like El Salvador. They had their Bitcoin program. They were playing around with that. Now they've basically bent back over for the IMF so that they could, you know, get a new loan. And so we're seeing that these countries are struggling to get away from the dollar, and it only brings in more of a demand for XRP to serve as a neutral bridge reserve currency. I mean, it is the solution that they're looking for. And I've actually shown in the past in some of our videos how many of the BRICS nations already have XRP being used within it. None of the BRICS nations have come out and said, okay, XRP is the answer. But we are seeing that XRP is being used in on-demand liquidity in many of the BRICS nations right now, along with other like proof of concepts that were done by the Bank of Russia back in 2018. You know, I mean, these deals go way back. Way back. Zach, if you had 2,000 to 5,000 available right now, what would you do? Atlantic Living, that's a good question. That's a very popular question. Right now, it's funny, I just got done bashing Flare, but I'm actually looking at Flare. Let's see. So I've still been adding to XDC. I've been adding to Flare. Ooh, I just got a text from my guy that we might be able to do barbecue aprons. Would you guys be interested in barbecue aprons if we had that? Because we're in the process of adding some new collections and new merch, and I was just thinking, you know, and I like grilling. I love grilling, right? I got my Blackstone, and I'm all about it, right? I'm full dad mode. And so I was thinking, man, I got to get myself an XRP apron. And I bet some other folks would like to have an XRP apron. I just got to figure out what design I would put on it. Like, you know, you could just do like an XRP family. You could just do like a basic XRP. Or I was trying to think, I was like, I got to come up with some sort of dad joke, some XRP dad joke. That'd be good too. But yeah, I just got a message from my guy that we can do barbecue aprons. That might be fun. Somebody called me Hank Hill. Exactly. Let me get back to Atlantic Living's question. Yeah, so I'm still adding to my bags for Flare, XDC, the Say token. Those have been some of my most recent purchases. HBAR. I was late to HBAR too. So HBAR, Flare, XDC, and the Say token are the 4 tokens that I've most recently purchased. If I had some money to play with too, I don't know. I'm not in the XRP memes right now either. I made some good money on the XRP memes, but I've taken a step back from those. But that's one, thing that I still consider. You got to be in and out though. You got to be really quick. This is not, I know some guys are just stacking bags of meme coins kind of for the future, and that's fine too. That strategy may end up paying off. That's not how I trade memes. And so, if you have, $5,000 to invest, I would probably be splitting that up between Flare, XDC. I still think that Say token is going to pump. That's SEI, not it's not even SUI. It's SWUI, not SUI. It's like a W. It's like SWI is how you pronounce it. It's not SUI. I can't. I was listening in a SUI space. Is it SWUI? Why? That's not it either. Why can I now pronounce it? But I'm talking about the Say token, SEI. Those are the 4 most recent positions that I've added to. The other thing that I would do, honestly, is I would make sure that I have $1,000 worth of RLUSD on Uphold, and I'd be making my 5% on that on my RLUSD on Uphold, just to keep some of that liquidity available too, because like you can earn that 5% on your RLUSD and still have that liquidity available to deploy whenever you want. So it's like you pick up some of these coins, you pick up some Flare, some XDC, Say, HBAR, or others too. Those are just the most recent ones that I've bought. But then make sure that you got $1,000. And that just reminded me actually that I need to get $1,000 worth of RLUSD on Uphold. I bought $50 worth of RLUSD. I only ended up with 47.9 tokens, but I did pick me up a few. Zach, what do you think of Reaper Financial's meme Grim? What they're doing over there is very, very unique. Not just with Grim, but the Quantum Financial Systems. What they're doing over there, Patrick and everybody else in his team, very, very interesting. They're tokenizing precious metals. They've got a whole DeFi ecosystem that they've built out, and they've had cooking for a while too. It's pretty impressive. Okay, I've missed some super chats, so I need to catch up on super chats right now. Let me see. Jason Lee Clerk, thank you for the 3 spot. Love your work, Zach. Shout out to my wife, Karina. Shout out to your wife, Karina. Appreciate you. Thank you. James Hall, thank you. How do we join your Discord? I couldn't find it. The description of the video, the description of all of our videos has it. Reckless Redneck, I think that's what your name is. I just see Reckless R. So I'm just going to run with Reckless Redneck. I don't know if that's your name. We got a big... Okay, yeah. We got a big 10 spot here. Say the XRP takes off to $100. Will exchanges have enough money to pay out? I've never found an answer and often wonder, would they be overwhelmed? Yes, they would be overwhelmed. They're going to be overwhelmed at $10. They're going to be overwhelmed at $5. These exchanges are not ready. We have no other option. I mean, we do have the DEX, and now we have RLUSD. So one thing that I will be doing, some folks have been asking me to update my XRP exit strategy. And I probably will, just because now we do have RLUSD available. I'm still sticking to my XRP exit strategy as far as my price targets. I'm set up on Uphold, Coinbase, and Caleb and Brown. And like I said, I'm telling you right now, I have zero doubt in my mind about these exchanges struggling to handle the XRP pump. I'm betting on it. And I say I'm betting on it, and I literally mean that, because I'm taking profits at some of these levels that I never thought I would sell at, because I don't think that they will have the liquidity at these higher prices that we extend up to. And I'm talking about 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 bucks. They're not ready to handle it. Nobody's ready to handle it. I mean, they're going to put forth their best effort, and we will be able to handle it if we hang out for a while, right? But that's the big thing, is when you look at in all these previous runs, especially in 2018, it was like a week that we were even above $2. I mean, there was like, it's been like half a dozen weeks total in XRP's existence that has been above $2. The last 7 weeks that we've been above $2, maybe it's not even been that long, 5-6 weeks, however long. I mean, that's basically as long as XRP's ever been above $2 for an extended period of time. So if we do hold out and we end up, being able to hold at 10, 15 bucks, then obviously we will have some liquidity. But there will come a point, this bull run, 100%, where they're going to struggle. Now, is that price $5? And I talk about numbers even this small, because I'm used to watching these exchanges crash when XRP pumps to $1, let alone XRP pumping to all-time high. I mean, look at the wick that we did up to $2.90 1 month ago. It didn't last long. It did not last long. And that was a breakout, huge run-up of almost 500% in a month, in really in even shorter time. And so that's to be expected. And that's why I'm expecting that going forward for this bull run. Now, we might end up hanging out at $5 for a while, and you will have good liquidity. We might end up hanging out at 10 or 15 or 20 bucks for a while, and you will have good liquidity. But there does come a point where they can't handle it, and we do end up coming back down because of it. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. and make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you can come to the after party, because I've been saying, I know I'm going to be coming to do a live show after we top out and the exchanges don't get our orders to go through, the exchanges crash, glitches happen. One exchange XRP's $20, one exchange XRP's $27. And I'm going to host an after party where we're all going to come on here and we're all going to cry. We're going to have a little cry sesh about our orders that didn't go through. And you're going to be able to tell me, yep, I was going to cash out $100,000 at $25 XRP. Order didn't go through. I was going to cash out $1 million at $15. Order didn't go through. And it's going to hurt for those that want to take profit at those levels. For those of you guys that aren't going to sell, you're just going to be kicking up your feet. You're just going to be kicking back and watching the show and watching us all have a meltdown over this. And you'll get the last laugh. But it's a good question. And that is exactly why I give myself options. I'm set up on Coinbase. I'm set up on Uphold. I'm set up on Caleb and Brown. The fees vary. The service varies. The custody varies. Where they're based varies. That's how you diversify. Think about that. I got a US exchange in Coinbase. I got a broker out in the UK, which Uphold now has a couple offices, but Caleb and Brown's out of Australia. So, that's like having banks in different countries. It's just like what the rich and the wealthy do, right? And so I've always preached giving yourselves options, and it's because of this reason, primarily, especially in regards to XRP, is because you want to have XRP on all of these exchanges ready to sell off and get your orders through when the time comes. Christy, I appreciate that. Appreciate the 20 spot. Sweet. It's sweet. That's right. It's sweet. Okay. It's sweet. So it's not suey. It's sweet. Okay. Yeah. Reckless Redneck says, that's what I thought. Maybe I won't keep anything on the exchanges and I'll keep it all on my Ledger wallet. Well, that's why I need to update the exit strategy, because what I want to explain is, yes, now we have the option available for RLUSD, but before I add that to my exit strategy, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get hit on slippage and that RLUSD is going to be able to hold its peg at $1. Right now, while there isn't that much liquidity, RLUSD is not on a bunch of different exchanges yet, which that's going to change here soon. Actually, Monica Long just said that in her interview that she just did. I'll be covering that in tomorrow's update, so stay tuned for that one. But while liquidity in the order book's thin for RLUSD, I'm not going to use cashing out into RLUSD as an option until I can see that that's stabilized. There's sufficient liquidity. It's listed on these exchanges. My plan actually on Uphold was to sell XRP into US dollars directly on their platform, because they give you the option to earn 4.5% on your US dollar account. Well, now Uphold is offering 5% on your RLUSD. So the part of my exit strategy that will change on Uphold will just be, as long as they can provide the liquidity there and I'm not going to get hit too hard on that, I'll just sell off my XRP into RLUSD on Uphold, and then I'm going to earn that 5% on my RLUSD. And the reason why I'm cashing out into a stablecoin on Uphold is because I want to actually buy back my bags. Now, let me be very clear. I might get wrecked in doing this. I might be coming back on after this bull run to say, hey guys, I have way less XRP because I sold some. I thought I was going to be able to buy it back, and the pump just kept on pumping. Or we dipped down, we ran up to $30. We came back down. I was going to buy back in at 12, and it only went to 15. So I lost 10, 20% of my XRP bag. I understand what I'm getting myself into and the risks that I'm running with this strategy. I'm very well aware. But the plan is to be able to cash out, take out profits, but also set aside capital to be able to deploy back in to get my XRP bags back. And in the meantime, I'll be earning that 5% on my RLUSD. That's my plan, at least on Uphold. So yeah, Reckless Redneck, thank you for another super chat. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. The other caveat that I have to say too, because people think, oh my gosh, why are you selling your XRP? I'm going to sell off my XRP and I'll still have a bag of XRP that I'm very happy with. Okay, so over half of my XRP bag is never getting sold. I did not take an inventory snapshot at the end of the year of my long-term holdings of XRP because, God willing, I'll never have to sell it. So, and I've already been running on a first in, first out cost basis on all of my assets. I already had assumed that was the standard for how we were supposed to report our gains on our cryptos, was first in, first out. So with this new IRS guidance and everything, I did not take a snapshot of my long-term holdings because they're never getting sold. Period. I mean, something catastrophic would have to happen. Right. But the idea is half my XRP bag is never getting sold. And that half of my XRP bag now, if I can keep that, I'll be a happy camper. The plan, though, is to be able to realize my profits, successfully buy back in, and at least capture a good portion of my bag as well, too. So maybe after this bull run, I'll have 10% less XRP. I'll have 20% less XRP. That's very possible. But I'll still have a bag that I'm happy with, and I'll have a chunk of capital that I then get to deploy into the real estate asset class, which is what I'm moving my profit into as far as the profit that I'm taking out of crypto. I'm not taking anything out to buy it. The only quote unquote vacation that I was going to pay for with XRP profits was XRP Las Vegas this year. If we did get a pump up to my price targets, like, okay, part of that profit I'll take and use to buy my tickets, but we'll see if that happens or not. But I'm not buying a vacation. I'm not buying a whip. I'm not doing any of that. It's staying in the investment bucket. It's just moving to a different asset class. And that's because I don't have any allocation towards the real estate asset class right now. I want to change that. I'm a 30-year-old man here who needs to get some exposure to the real estate asset class. And I can speak about that more in a separate update, specifically on real estate. That market is coming directly towards us right now. It's coming to our favor right now. One of the things I'm going to be doing once again while I'm in Arizona is actually looking at real estate while I'm down there as well too. So we are not, no, the merch is not available in Australia right now. I apologize for that. No merch overseas, no merch to Canada right now, but it is coming soon. Okay, we're working on it right now. Canadian Post Office is back in business. Their strike is over. So I'm hoping I can get the fees down. I was getting quoted at $50 to send a t-shirt up to Canada. So we're trying to get that down. If anybody wants to be my wholesaler distributor in Canada, reach out to me. What can you just email me, business@zachrector.com. That's our email. Kevin Nunez says you can buy investment properties from me in Houston. So I was looking at the real estate market there in the Dallas, Fort Worth metro area too when I was down there. That was about a year and a half ago. It just blows me away coming from where I come from, right? Because where I'm at right now, the median home is above the national average. And depending on where you're at in my area, it can be well above the national average. And just the price of land, the price of everything in my neck of the woods is ridiculous. And so going down to Dallas and seeing that you can buy 2,500 square foot homes for $400,000, that's unheard of where I come from. I mean, you can't buy these houses for less than $700,000 where I come from. So, yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed. What ledger wallet do you use? I have a few different options, but I don't speak on it publicly, but I use a few. I use Zalman. I use a few others. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. Milton says, Zach, happy 100,000 subscribers. You've earned it, and every channel has great things to say about you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's do a few more questions here before we sign off. Let's do a few more. TikTok, what are you guys working with? Let me refresh the chat. Got to meet you at XRP Las Vegas this year. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Pray for LA. Yeah, a good point. Yeah, I was so busy talking about crypto in tonight's update that I forgot to mention that. Pretty crazy what's happening right now in California. Speaking of real estate too, Florida and California are just uninsurable now. This is land that no insurance company wants to do business in anymore. And that's only going to get worse through this. So, you know, we're praying. I'm praying for the people down there right now. You know, I know it's not pretty right now. It's out of control. They don't have control of it. We're watching it closely. I have my suspicions. I'll leave it at that. What do you think will happen on January 15th with the lawsuit? Well, if the SEC doesn't file the briefs for the appeal, then the appeal is dropped and the case is over. That's kind of what I'm predicting. XRP at $2.31. Bitcoin at 96.5. So like I said, basically none of the other top cryptos really had a bounce like XRP did. I did get to go see my so are you day trading or just holding coins? So right now I'm not day trading. I never really have done, well, the only quote unquote day trading that I've done has been in the flipping of memes, because I would go into those and sometimes only hold those for 15 minutes, hold those for a couple hours. That's a true day trade. So in the meme coin flipping, I was day trading, and I was doing that back in November. And then the last time that I've day traded has been when I traded futures. But even when I did that, it was mostly swing trading. So I still am swing trading, not very actively. But I don't really day trade. I mostly just swing trade. And on the memes, pretty much just try to snipe. Mr. P House. Mr. P House, I appreciate that. That's a big 80 spot of Aussie bucks. Mickle said he does better lives. Keep it up, brother. You deserve your 100,000. Mickle. Oh, Mickle. I like Mickle. I like Mickle a lot. We got a lot of good people in our community. You know, he's one of the good guys. He's one of the good guys. A lot of people ask me about different characters. They say, hey, what do you think of this guy? Sometimes I have to just say no comment. Mama said if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. But Mickle's a real one. He definitely doesn't do better lives, though. Okay. He's good, though. He's good. There you go. Craw Billies. Craw Billies, thank you for the 5 spot. I've been around for 8 years, seen you teach me many points. I thank you. You know, and I'll say too, I like doing these lives, but what I've just started to do here recently is I've been doing TikTok lives again, and I've been busting out my whiteboard, and I've been having a lot of fun doing those. Because I've been using the whiteboard to kind of just demonstrate, draw stuff out, explain it out, and really simplify it and break it down. And the reason why I've been starting to do that again is because I just know how many new people we're onboarding right now. So many new people that are just trying to understand the basics, who need it drawn out on the whiteboard, explained simply so that they can understand it. And so I've been having a lot of fun doing those again. I'm trying to do those pretty much every weekday. I'm trying to go live on TikTok. So I'm going to keep you guys. And one thing too, one of my biggest goals for 2025 and one of my biggest focuses will be on my schedule and on my time management. It's something that I've always struggled with. I'm a huge procrastinator, and just frankly disorganized. That's not my forte. Organization, staying on task, that is not my forte. But for 2025, it is my number one focus, is time management and schedule. And now that I'm out of my other business and I'm just doing my media business, I'm hoping to get our schedule locked down again so that you guys will have like a regular schedule, or at least you'll know which days I'm going live. We used to be doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. I'd like to get back into the routine of at least just doing, 2 to 3 days per week. But on TikTok specifically, I'm going to be trying to go live there like pretty much every weekday, just to help onboard the new people over there. Which obviously there's still a lot of new people to onboard too. I was playing around too with integrating the whiteboard into some of my YouTube videos. I recorded a couple of those updates a couple weeks ago, and it does help. Folks like to see stuff drawn out and simplified like that. Yeah, unsure if you are aware, Zach, but here in New Zealand, our largest bank, also in Australia, ANZ, just partnered with BlackRock and did testing with Ripple in 2021. Both articles online, something is brewing. So in tomorrow's update, you will see Monica Long in the interview that she just conducted. She confirmed that they've been working with that they are working with some of the, quote, biggest banks in the world. So for all these people that said that no banks were working with Ripple, couldn't be further from the truth. And what was so interesting about the comments that Brad Garlinghouse made here recently is he said, since the election in the past 6 weeks, we've added more US customers than we did in the past 6 months, which most people were focusing on. That he said that they've added more customers in the past 6 weeks. But what they missed is that he acknowledged that they still were adding US-based customers, just not as many. So for many of us, I think that we were kind of just speculating that US clients weren't being added. No new US banks were partnering up with Ripple. But the statements from Brad would contradict that. And now that we're seeing the uptick too, and what I think, and what I've been speculating is that you had partnerships that were on the back burner, like MoneyGram, Bank of America, just to name a couple. Ones that already were partners, but they were waiting to get back on after the lawsuit. And so I think that you're going to see a lot of that as well too. Royal Bank of Canada has merged with HSBC. Yeah, and obviously HSBC chose Medico to do the tokenized gold offering. Ripple purchased Medico. HSBC has confirmed that they're still going to be working with that custody solution that's now being provided by Ripple. So yeah, and this is so great because Ripple can now get in the door through custody, through the stablecoin, or through on-demand liquidity using XRP and other use cases. Treasury management's another one that they've mentioned. Some of their partners are using XRP for treasury management. Some of them are just tapping into on-demand liquidity. Some are just using custody. Now some are going to get access to the XRP ledger through DeFi, through ROUSD. And so the door has always been open because of who's on Ripple's team. Chris Larson's played that role really well. Brad Garlinghouse has as well. When you add the 43rd Treasurer of the United States of America, that might help keep some doors open for you, right? When you're meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, the door is literally open to the President of the United States of America. That's noteworthy. And so, I just think that what we're watching now is the unveiling of everything that's been taking place behind the scenes. Now the veil gets lifted. Now it's full send. And like I said earlier, even I think that I was underestimating just how much Trump and Ripple were going to become best friends. I don't know how else to look at that picture with Stu pointing at his friend, with the point there. Who does that? I mean, obviously a lot of people do that, but these guys keep it pretty professional, Stu and Brad. But with Trump, it's we're with the president, Somebody said Zach looks much more real than Ripple. or than Mickle. Oh man, that's funny. I like guys that can, give me some crap. We can get, back and forth a little bit, have a little bit of fun. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. It's been a pleasure. Had a lot of fun. You guys can see the momentum's there. Technicals, fundamentals, all converging with a legal competitive advantage. On top of that, we're meeting with the President of the United States. Right. So, fantastic day here for the XRP community. I know that the market's down, but I'm glad that we were able to come on here and drop today's content and, to this morning's earlier update, but then also this live as well too. And I like to come on during these red days. It's funny because people, the trolls want to dig at you. Oh, you've been saying the same thing for 4 years. Well, the point is that I've been showing up for 4 years. I didn't leave during the bear market. I still show up on days like today when it's red, right? I here for an hour and 46 minutes on a live, right? On a red day, right? For most content creators, if they can't put out a little quick clickbait, they ain't pulling up for 2 hours to chat with the community. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I know that you guys get a lot of value out of that. I have a lot of fun talking with you guys. And I'm glad that we were able to come on today during a red day and remind everybody what's really going on here. Yeah, that price might go down. You might have a red candle. Stop looking at your 5-minute chart for crying out loud. Okay. And recognize what's taking place here. Okay. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for helping me achieve 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are just getting started. I appreciate all of your support. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have yourselves a fantastic night. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Core pins. Core pins. Goodness gracious. I didn't even really drink my adult beverage here tonight. My man, core pins. At this point, they're going to think you're an official sponsor of the show. We got you some of the best core pins in the world. My man, I wish I knew your real name too, but you do nothing but show up and make it rain. Congratulations, 100,000 subs, Zach, with a massive $200 super chat. $1 will make you holla. 200. Shoot. I'm going to have to turn off the stream. I hope you guys had a fun time. Core pins, you're the best, man. Thank you for the support. Everybody else who threw down tonight, everybody else who liked it, tapped it, smacked it. Appreciate you guys. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless.